rapidly, and so we're in a period of transition. But
This is the other reason why I like working with Ryland. He runs everything through a diplomatic filter.
a little
So,
spin. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I found myself with a little more time now, and with another great Hollywood person, Rachel Nelson, who is she's kind of a social media guru and has worked for years in YouTube analytics and has had her hands in any number of things. But we came together to found what is called the Shoshin Creative Lab, which is a content and strategy firm that is sort of was founded to help companies and people like Chris and his White Cat Entertainment kind of turn ambitious ideas into impactful stories, whether they're in print, film, television, other digital platforms. And so we have since founding a few years back. We've created content. We have managed properties for like Amazon, Hulu, HBO Max, Lego, Def Jam, the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, the Crime Junkie podcast most recently, and now we have been invited to help Chris with his stuff, and we're very excited about it.
Awesome. All right. How could we sell you our show? No, I'm kidding.
Put a deck together, hire Ryland, and then bring it over.
Wow. Now, with the comics, how do you do? All kidding aside, how do you choose a property that this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna work with. How do you choose a property to say this is something that we can work with?
Well, it's interesting. Like a lot of the things that we work with White Cat Entertainment they're mostly my properties that I've written or generated. Now, there's a couple things in the pipeline that I'm working with other people too. But what I kind of look at from an entertainment perspective is I always start with like, well, what's not out there that I want to see? And that I would really enjoy. I take it from a very organic place of like, all right, well, this isn't here. I want to see it. Why isn't this? Then I get angry that it doesn't exist, and then I actually create it. So, one of the properties we have is Long Ago and Far Away, and it's basically a cross between Clerks and Narnia, where the wrong people go into the wardrobe into the fantasy world and make things worse because they're jerks. And that was something that we really enjoyed making. The artist, Fernando Pinto, did an amazing job with it. Now we're in our sequel phase right now that's being produced. And that one's been in and out of development for animation and some other places. And now Ryland's kind of taking that under, development. And then we're going to pitch that for movies and TV as well. But it's the kind of thing, too. It's like, you guys probably think, well, this is what I really want to do. This is what I really like. And this doesn't exist because I have to make it for me to enjoy it. So.
And in terms of, you start asking the Hollywood questions, and to begin with, Chris makes really good comic books and really good podcasts, and has been up to some really interesting comedy exploits. So start there, because not everybody does that. Not everybody creates first and foremost, and even when people spend time creating, it's not always where it needs to be. The good news is Chris has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things that are in incredible shape. It is then my job to help him figure out, well, where does this fit into the ever-evolving and oh-so-complicated Hollywood puzzle? We're here at a time...
It only took 2 to 3 decades, by the way. So, it didn't take long.
Yeah, and if you have a good property, there's always a place for it, and sometimes it does take time. And with my own stuff, I also run a comic book company called Half Evil Comics, and we won a couple of Ringo Awards, and we've done some great titles. We most recently did the official Evel Knievel comic book series.
Cool.
And so we're always up to interesting stuff. But again, I think I make pretty good, damn good books too. And sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes you'll sell stuff 2-3 times, which is a good thing for the pocketbook. It can be a little more frustrating when they don't end up on a screen or something like that.
Yeah.
They come back to you, but then you just kind of reload, rinse, and repeat. And good material will stick around. And it is one of the interesting things with Chris's material is that he's been around the block a couple of times. He's had sitcoms in development. He's had animated series in development. All of that stuff. And so there's something there. And the problem right now is that Hollywood is not
changing.
yeah, but it's not the Hollywood that we know and hate. I was going to say know and love, but it's really a know and hate thing, and it is mutating like so fast. And Hollywood used to happen in Hollywood. It doesn't necessarily happen in Hollywood right now. I interviewed for a job, I don't know, 3-4 months ago that I didn't end up taking, but it was for it was to be the head of film and TV for a very prestigious podcast company that was located in Indianapolis, and looking for mostly YouTube content. So we're in this era now where Hollywood used to happen in Hollywood, and now it happens in Indianapolis, and Connecticut, and Atlanta, and TV.
None of those companies, they have no intention of moving. That's where they are.
Yeah. It's a big world, and TV used to happen on our televisions, and then it was happening on streamers, and now it's happening on YouTube and on podcast, dishers, and so this is the landscape we're looking at right now, and we're trying to figure out where the opportunities are, and luckily we have some good rounds in the chamber here.
That's incredible. I mean, you guys are definitely, for someone like Sophia. Now, Sophia does this with me. Plus, she is also a streamer, one of the best gamers out there. You guys are like inspiring because it's like you believe it, you dream it, you can do it, and this is just amazing. I thank you guys for hanging out with us, man.
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of the indie way. It's like, you keep hearing, you can only hear no so many times before you go, okay, well, I'll do something else. Or like, no, I'm going to do this myself and make it my own way in a different way. And that's really what you have to do. Like what you guys are doing, you're like, make your own show, just do it. No one's going to say no except you when you make your own things in the indie space.
Well, it's true. Yeah, and it's so interesting how stardom has changed too, and what moves the needle, because you don't have 25 million people watching Johnny Carson every night anymore. Kimmel. What did Kimmel get? 2.5 million when he came back after being banned or something like that, and maybe it was 6 million or something like that. But it was a fraction of what it used to be, and you don't have people going to the movies in force anymore, and we're not making new stars the way we used to. The average age of like the Hollywood blockbuster star is like in his 50s now, which is crazy. And so the new stars, the new people who are draws, the new people who are bankable, and the definition of that word is changing a lot, but it is YouTubers, it is streamers, it is all of these things. And so there's the good news is there is a place for everybody now. Like there's a sort of democratization of it happening. The gatekeepers are a lot less powerful. You don't have to go and ask for permission from some 50-year-old white studio head to hop on and create a podcast or a streaming show or to become a gamer or any of these things. But it's a complicated landscape because there's so much competition.
It is. I mean, I've been doing this for 12 years, and we're finally starting to actually up running and starting to take off. It's insane. It's
not easy.
No, not easy at all. But I mean, to talk to people like you two, it's just like a serious inspiration of like just take up and go. And dude, it's just like it's an honor. Thank you. You guys are inspiring, very inspiring.
Well, I always say keep going, even if everyone thinks you're crazy. One of you has to be right, and if you're crazy, then what the hell do you care? So
that's pretty much that's pretty much true.
Yes.
Live action or animation? Out of all your properties, this question goes out to both of you. live action or animation, what do you prefer your creations to be made? Live action or
The easy answer is yes. They can be kind of adapted either way. I mean, my stuff is a little like it's more fantasy driven, so there's higher budgets if we do live action, things like that. However, the way VFX has evolved over the years, all of those costs have come down for VFX, and you can get things done sometimes even like on a laptop that look amazing now. So I really feel like you can kind of go either way with a lot of my properties. I personally love both. Like I can really get into some cool animations. I mean, that was really cool. You just had
that's
a
all
direwolf
and that's
walk
all
past.
special effects right there.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
special.
yeah. No, that was a Game of Thrones direwolf. That was really cool. But yeah, I mean, animation's really cool. There's a lot of really neat, great things being done with it, but also live action too. You could do things you couldn't used to do on a lower budget. So Ryland and I are very much open to both.
Yeah, I think you go where the opportunity is, and you go where the great collaborators are. It is something I've learned over the years. I remember, I wrote a short story that was published and got a little heat on it, and then we kind of had a bidding war over the short story, the competitive situation, and we had probably 10 suitors on it, and
Wow.
four or five really serious suitors, and and big directors, and they all liked something different about the short story, and they all saw a slightly different movie or TV series or whatever it was going to be. And you are used to, as a writer in Hollywood, going in and pitching your movie to somebody, right? Well, what I had to learn to do when I was taking IP in somewhere, IP is intellectual property, which means like an established, just for the audience. So we're talking a book, a comic book, a video game, whatever it is. And so you're taking IP in, and you have to learn to not pitch your movie, but kind of figure out what their movie is and then pitch that. And it's really about listening rather than talking, And so
Bit of mind reading too. So
yeah, and so with some of these properties that we've set up a couple of times, we had, depending on the partner we had very different fits of entertainment in the end, and they were all kind of great in their own way. Now, you can run into trouble that you end up kind of paired with somebody that you're not vibing with, and and you end up with kind of a crappy version of something great that'll annoy you. You don't want to end up there. But I think
some development exec will want to add like a dolphin or a clown, something like that. So.
Yeah. Kids love dolphins, laser dolphins. Yeah. But I think you choose your collaborators carefully, and you go where the opportunity is. And we're in this place where, well, it used to be film, it used to be TV, and there are still opportunities there. But there are also opportunities, again, on YouTube in the podcast landscape with verticals. There's a lot of weird AI stuff coming through, even though that's a bad word for a lot of people. It's interesting, and so we are looking at everything. We're being careful, and we are sticking to principles and things we believe in and whatnot. But we're interested in exploring what's out there now.
Awesome. All right, we got to take a quick break. We missed our first break, but that's okay. We're going to take a quick break for the Erica Legacy Foundation, and Sophia's going to explain to us what that is.
Okay, so the Erica Legacy Foundation is a foundation that exists that helps people in need that are mentally or emotionally distraught. If you reach out, they will help you. They help hundreds of people all the time.
It's now time for Quiz with Quimsel.
And Sophia on the beat, we turning heads, bringing heat to the street. Get ready now, it's our time to shine. Feel the rhythm, every move is divine. Feel the madness, it's a party in your soul. Feel the madness, let the good times roll. Feel the madness, come and join the ride.
All right, guys, so I'm going to ask a question and you're going to answer correctly. First is going to be our guests, then chat, then Lewis. The question is, which 1990s film about two slacker rock music fans with a basement TV show started out as a recurring Saturday night